What is the difference between writing a book and writing a screenplay? Specifically, writing screenplay text versus writing prose. I'm Jeremy Ellis. This is my son Ethan Ellis, and we're Ellis Island. And today we're answering your questions. Mostly, I'm answering your questions. You have something you want to add there?
Yeah.
Okay. About the differences between writing prose and writing a script. First thing to know is that when you're writing a script, you're writing a blueprint for something that is going to be the finished product. That does change the mindset of what you're going for. It also matters because when you're writing a script, the medium that you're writing it for is a visual medium. That's the main difference. And so when you're writing a script, you're mostly focused on the things that an audience is going to be able to see or hear on screen. You're trying to evoke emotion in them, but you can't actually talk about a character's emotion unless you're actually writing exposition, which is something you generally want to avoid doing. In screenplays, it's all about structure. So you've got your slug lines, you've got your locations, you've got your descriptions of scene setting, and obviously you've got your characters and your dialogue. The way that all of that unfolds is it's oriented around what characters in the scene are able to hear or see. Also, when it comes to a screenplay, you're talking about things that are relevant to the other departments that are going to be turning your screenplay into the final vision of a movie or a TV show. So you're talking about production, you're talking about hair and makeup, you're talking about costumes. All of these things are important to the screenplay just as they are in a book, but they present themselves in a different way. You'd want to find a different way to indicate that in the screenplay and then leave it to the actors and the directors and the other people who are collaborating with you on the vision for the piece in order to bring that to life. Whereas when you're reading a book, there is no visual. It's entirely internal because you're reading the words and it's all happening in your mind. And when you're talking about writing, a book or you're writing prose, you have at your disposal all five senses. You can talk about what a character sees, what a character hears, a character touches, what a character smells, what a character tastes. But more importantly, you have this other sense, the internal sense, which is what is a character feeling? You're able to tap into their emotions, you're able to tap into their inner thoughts. And so in this way, you use all of these to sort of paint a fully realized picture of a character in the moment. Stephen King in On Writing has a great example of how when you're a writer, you're selecting the details that you want to include in a scene in order to have just enough to paint a picture for the audience and to give a feeling of the scene. Right, that's right, to give a feeling of the scene. And feeling is an important thing when it comes to prose writing. I remember the example he gives is that he talks about there's a rabbit on a table and it's in a cage and it's got the number 9 tattooed on its back. And he talks about how he doesn't get specific about the type of cage it is. It could be a cage with bars, it could be a cage that's like a Pyrex glass cage. But the feeling that he captures in that description is what is important. This is Ellis Island. I'm Jeremy Ellis. I love a good story. And the stories that we tell one another, the stories that we tell ourselves, the stories that we love in the books, movies, and TV shows we watch have life lessons for us and can inform our lives. And so going through the process of understanding stories helps you to understand the story of your own life, and they can be used in our own life to be successful. Isn't that right, Ethan? Don't you think? Yeah. See, there you go. You heard it from him directly. Mwah. All right, let's go.